Yeah, somehow I rather doubt we're hitting 57 with sunny skies. If it does occur, it'll happen a bit later. Useless by then for me. It's 42. These low clouds are actually coming off the Cape Cod Bay, which is still cold, and it was fog, and they're now elevated fog. Well, let's get to it. Edging. And edging. And raking and cleanup of the mulch. Way too much mulch. You know, it will hold in moisture, but it also deflects rainfall, so we're going to clean up a lot of that. Needs a little reshaping. I think you get the idea. Pretty good sweep here. Just needs to be cleaned up more than anything. Actually, pretty good lines back here. That will not take much time to clean up. Back here, however, I think it's time to give a little more room and clean this curve up. Make it one nice arc if we can. Cobblestones. You know, they look nice. They start out well intentioned, but then the turf moves in and they move in the soil as it rains. So they look loose, not cemented. So I'll probably just pry those out, recut, and then seat them back in. We'll see how it goes. Don't know till you pry a couple out as to what you're facing. And then just more edging. Same thing here. Rake that mulch out. Cut a nice new edge. Alright. It's actually quite a bit of distance, but it should go easy. It's always a trade-off. They do pop right out. It's a little time consuming, but you can see I've already started my edging. And I'm battling allergies yet again, plus the cold weather's not helping, so forgive me. You can see I'm just going to come around. I'm going to swing outside that and then cut in a little tighter. Cut that down a little bit. You can see some dead debris there. You can see very little coming off. Actually swung a little wider here just because the plant's kind of growing and it's a nice plant. We got plenty of room here. All right, on to the next spot. There you have it. I don't know if you noticed, that guy was completely root bound with grass. It's just this stringy stuff. See, that's the other problem with mulch. This stuff loves to burrow underneath it. That's how it gets into your islands. Other than a quick raking, this little guy's done. Just wanted to do it all at once. Sometimes I'll do the same process all the way around and then start over. Other times I'll do a whole island to completion. Depends on the mood of the day. Also got in here and got all the grass out of those rocks. So you can see why that is not the best idea, because then you end up with all that. But hey, looks nice once it's done. Yeah, I'd call this one finished. Edged, but not yet raked. Got to the cobbles and I only have to pull up every so often. The rest seems to come out pretty good. That was a low spot. I pulled those all out, put a new base in there because sprinkler head, so they sink over time. Already got my edge cut around the rest. See, I'm leaving a gap. I'm not going to pull them back. I'm going to leave them where they are. That just gives a place for all the debris to go and the water to run. And it'll be quite a bit longer before you end up with this again. So that's the intent behind that. These are coming along well. I will do a little backfill. Generally speaking, you can see these had to come out because there was so much turf locked in there. As you can see here, it's on both sides of the cobbles. It's growing into the bulkhead, so some have to come out, some don't, but it's going very quickly. So, not too bad. Bow's a little there because there's a sprinkler ahead, and that's not the task. Cleaning up is the task, and I did bow these a little. You can see I backfilled them. A little more to do in here. I just don't want it to be a trip hazard. You also don't want the grass growing right back in. Otherwise, why did you bother? Cleaned up around the utilities as well because, yeah, you don't want the grass growing in there and you want the water to drain out of them. So the cobbles are now done. One more quick sweep. Rain will get the rest. You can see I've already come around this edge, just started in here. And that's where we're at. Got the whole right side, 4 circles in the front, and this back curve. It's a lot, but it's also going to go fairly easily from here on out. The cobbles, those take time. And yeah, it's spring. Might still snow, but it is spring. Into the back. This swept around nicely. And that'll stir up your allergies, let me tell you. And just kind of kept this, rounded it a little more. And I started to do this sweep. So I have correction to do in this general area. I'll show why. See several first cuts before I finally saw the sweep. What I'll probably do now is dig out around here real quick and then eyeball it from the other direction. Definitely something a little funky in there by the dip. We'll see. That's not 57 and sunny. Did get close to 50. Tapped out at 49. A little bit of sun earlier. We've since dropped. Now we're down to 44 just minutes later. God bless the Atlantic. Northeast winds. Not really. All raked, all cleaned up, all edged. Put a nice curve on this one. And the back. Everything's nice and raked out. Cleaned up this back run. This was the line that was really misshapen. Everything else was in pretty good shape. Just needed some edging, a little tweaking. This was the worst of it. Came out pretty well, I thought. And around the back of the house. Nice new lines, nice clean beds. Now it's ready for whatever they choose to do with it. Cobbles came out real nice. It was not as difficult as I had anticipated. Only had to pull up, say, a third of them along the way. And they came up pretty easy and went back into place without much of an issue. And the final beds on the side. And that was the first one I had completed, just so I knew what I was getting into. So I think it came out pretty darn good. It's up to the homeowner to decide. It is still not 50 and sunny. Color me surprised. Well, that'll do it on this project.